Hi, with just 90 days to CAT, students normally commit mistakes in the last 90 days. So, what mistakes do they commit and how do you avoid that? That's what the whole focus of this video is. Because these 90 days become extremely important. It'll make or break with regards to what you prepare. Now, whatever you've done so far is fine. But last 3 months, important. There are people who have started preparing from last 3 months have cracked the examination. It's definitely possible to do well, right? So we do train students for MBA entrance examination right from CAT and the other entrance exams. Now the first mistake that people do is they write the mocks. Some people do keep writing mocks, but they don't analyze the mocks. And that is a big mistake because if you don't analyze the mocks, there's no point writing the mocks because you're not going to improve on it. So it's useless to write mocks without analyzing it because you will tend to repeat the same mistakes because you're not aware about your mistakes. So only if you're aware of your mistakes will you be able to know how to improve and improve your scores. So after writing 2 hours of mock, you need to analyze that. So spend at least 2 to 5 hours analyzing a mock. Initially, in the starting few mocks, you may take more time to analyze the mocks, but as and when you get used to it, you may take lesser and lesser time. Also, ensure that you make a book and write down your analysis for every mock you write. Because what happens is when you come close to the examination, you need to revise as to what mistakes did you do, how did you go with the mocks. Because learning from those mistakes is very important, and being aware of those will help you to avoid that in the actual exam. Second, not experimenting with strategy. People write mocks with the same strategy. They don't experiment. Okay, one way to improve your score is through strategy. If you look at the marks normally improve, especially in the initial mocks, the marks usually improve because of change in strategy. When you experiment and see, oh, this works and this doesn't work, your marks improve. If you don't change your strategy, your marks normally don't improve so much. So difference in marks due to a faulty strategy and a good strategy could be huge. I mean, people double their score because of a proper strategy. And you will only come to know if you experiment with your mocks. So what works for you, what doesn't work for you will only come to know when you keep experimenting with regards to mocks. If this experimentation will be in terms of question selection, how to select a question, which question to select, which question to leave, time split, how much will you spend time on each area of your discipline, attempt order, which will you attempt first, which will you attempt later, how will you leave the question, of how many questions you should leave, how many rounds in question, all that different strategy you need to experiment to find out what actually works for you. Third, not discussing with peers. When you study on your own, you tend to lead to what is blind spots here? Something that you are doing a mistake but you're not aware about it. You may be doing something wrong with your preparation, but because you're not discussing with someone else, you're not aware that you're doing your mistakes. So that is blind spot. So if you discuss with some others and you'll see how they prepare and what they do, you will realize your mistakes. For maybe example, I may be doing a lot of vocabulary, but I don't realize vocabulary may not be so important. Only if I talk to others, maybe I'll come to know. So you can discuss questions, you can discuss mock strategies, you can discuss methods. Give you an example. I remember there were students of mine, 3 or 4, they used to write, practice, and come together and discuss methods with themselves. If anyone gets good methods, they should teach others. Okay, and that helped the whole group, and some went to IMA and top college as such. So teaching others could help to reinforce the methods. So when you teach others, it helps you to reinforce your methods. So that is also helps. So group peer helps definitely. Next mistake people do is ignoring your weak areas. Students do not like to study their weak areas because there's no improvement coming in. You don't enjoy studying a weak area. You hate reading, so then why should you read? But understand in the examination there are sectional cutoffs. You need to put in your efforts in your weak areas without ignoring your strong area. You need to put in the effort on strong area. You need to balance between your weak and strong area. Can't ignore your weak area, can't ignore your strong area because your marks will get at strong area where you'll maximize your score. But you also need to clear sectional cutoff for your weak areas. So balance the two and try to prepare. Extremely important. Reading is one of the most important part of preparation, and as you come closer to the examination, it becomes more and more important. What I've seen and my personal experience is that if I read in the last 3 months regularly for CAT, okay, or general reading, okay, I tend to perform much better in CAT, specifically the VARC part. So reading also helps in DILR and Cont. DILR because it is in English, so the moment you read regularly, you're able to comprehend the language better. Therefore, you're able to understand the set better, both in DILR as well as Cont questions. So in that case, reading definitely helps in all areas. There is obviously the maximum weightage in the exam is for reading comprehension. It definitely helps there. but helps in all areas as such. Reading is the most important part of your CAT preparation. One more thing is people neglect DILR practice. They believe, oh, DILR I know or I understand DILR. Look, DILR improves with practice. The more you practice, the more pattern forms. It's like chess. The more you practice chess, the more pattern forms in your mind, and the better you perform. Okay, so it helps you to be aware of different type of sets. You can find patterns because of trying to practice again and again, and that over a period of time will help you to reduce the time taken to solve the sets. You'll not only come to know, okay, oh, this is a set, so this is a pattern to be solved, and this is how to solve. The moment you're able to recognize the patterns, you'll be able to solve things faster. Not searching. People are comfortable with the way they're solving. They believe if I practice more, I'll improve your scores. Doesn't happen that way. More practice doesn't mean that your scores will improve. You have to look out for better approaches. Actually, CAT questions are designed in such a way that if you use specific approaches, you'll be able to solve them better or faster. So these methods are different from traditional or school methods. In school methods, you use step-wise method, put the formula, get the answer. It takes a longer time, and a lot of CAT questions cannot be solved using these methods, and you tend to be slower. The difference in time taken can be huge, by the traditional method and the methods. So try to learn these approaches like substitution, using options, reverse calculus, simple methods which are there, which are typically can be used in CAT, pattern formation, etc. If you can use those methods, it will help you to solve things faster and will give you more answers in the exam. Getting stressed. A lot of students get stressed. When you come closer to the exam, the more you're closer, you get stressed because the scores are not improving. As a matter of fact, it will be decreasing. A lot of people have the scores decreasing. I've seen like 4-5 marks, score keeps decreasing, and they study hard, but the scores are decreasing. So, and the one reason why the score decreases is because they get more stress, and more stress. When you get more stress, what happens? Your thinking process goes down, and the moment your thinking process goes down, automatically your score also goes down, right? So that means ensure that you're able to be calm. That should help. Okay, understand that marks are only used to experiment and practice. It's not that your final score will depend on your mark score. There are people who have not scored high mark scores but have scored very high in a final score. Key is to be relaxed as far as the exam is concerned and able to manage your stress. If you can do that, you will do well. Don't only focus on percentile. People just write marks and focus on percentile. Oh, my percentiles are not improving, percentiles are not improving. If you only focus on percentile, you will miss out on what you need to actually improve. Strategy, accuracy, attempts, what area to improve on, all that. You need to focus on different parameters so that you can improve on the scores. Focusing only on percentiles may lead to, again, higher stress levels, and it lead to no improvement in your scores as well. Right? So broaden your parameters. Look at different things when you analyze a mark. Not only your percentiles, but also strategy which you have used or which questions are important, etc. Look at these mistakes that normally people commit. Try to understand them and see if you can avoid them as far as possible. It's not too late to crack the examination. There are people who study for 3 months and crack the exam. It's possible. You need to be regular. You need to give your best efforts as far as possible, even if your scores are not improving. Right? All the best. If you're writing the CAT, do subscribe to our channel. Thank you.